that one specific incident that you think is leading to a great impact and is leading to legacy?
Their legacy, their home team is important.
40 years ago, did you even imagine you would be the Mac Srinivasan?
40 years ago, I don't think I was born, by the way. No, I'm just kidding.
Tell me some secrets about leadership.
There's a saying, right? If you think you're a leader and you're walking and you look behind you and nobody's following you, you're just taking a walk in the park.
Mac Srinivasan, a name that resonates with 350,000 entrepreneurs across 70 plus countries, is a dynamic leader and accomplished professional whose journey is defined by resilience, innovation, and a relentless drive for excellence. With an impressive track record of achievements across 35 years of business growth and mentoring, he has established himself as a visionary thinker and a changemaker. Known for his ability to inspire and lead, Mac's contributions have created a lasting impact, earning him respect and recognition within his community. Beyond his professional milestones, he passionately advocates education for children, thus embodying a unique blend of ambition and purpose. An author, franchisee expert, global growth mentor, and former BNI Global Markets President, Mac's words are a cumulative record of his experiences. We have secrets about leadership, secrets about growth, secrets about business. Well, who better than the Mac Srinivasan himself to share more secrets about his life, leadership skills, growth, and mentoring. Welcome, Mac Srinivasan, and on Grind to Gold, you are watching Mac Srinivasan and Sujyoti. Welcome, Mac.
Hey, thanks, Sujyoti.
So now let me ask you the first question. Which one of your achievements still feel like a dream come true for you?
Wow. I think when I moved back to India, was a huge accomplishment and achievement. And when I got the opportunity to run BNI India. But I think one of the most proudest achievements, if you ask me personally, is my two daughters, right? Being able to, the fact that, that I still have a very good rapport with them. I'm their friend, they're able to come to me. I think if you ask me what is the one biggest achievement in life, I would still reflect back to my two kids, okay? The fact that I can still relate with them as a friend, and we all go through ups and downs in life, challenges and struggles, and just being as a buddy for them and giving them a shoulder to cry on when it's needed, or having a shoulder to support and lift them when it's needed. So I think that personally is one of something I'm proud of. From terms of work, coming to India, getting into finding about BNI, being able to, suddenly they gave me the opportunity to run India as its leader. And there was a lot of struggles at that point in time in 2016. And at that point, India had about 9,800 entrepreneurs. And when I handed it off to my next Hemu, who's running it now, I think we were about crossing around 55,000 members when I stopped mentoring India, and it was completely run by him. So that was a huge accomplishment where we were able to support so many entrepreneurs, help them grow their business, and it continues to grow. In each of my business enterprises, whether it was BNI, whether it was my background verification company, whether it was my IT company that I ran in the past, I learned from Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, that the definition of a business owner is when you are able to walk away from the business and you have created systems and have the right people to continue the journey. Okay, so you cannot call yourself as a business owner if you need to go in and operate the business every day, open the shutter, close the shutter. But if you are able to build a business in such a way that you're able to walk away from it and it continues to grow, that's an accomplishment. After I walked away from my previous IT company, that continued to grow. Same thing with BNI, whether it is in India or Singapore or any of the other places. That I think is something that we learned along the way, that people process and passion needs to come into place.
That is fabulous. It's very interesting to know that despite all your accomplishments and what you have done, you still value being a father. I mean, you give it the topmost priority. That's an overwhelming response that I've received from any business person so far. And you're not just a business owner, you're a mentor too. So you're a mentor to so many people. You've got mentored, but you're a mentor too. So you are a global growth mentor. And I know you still have many more things to achieve and to share with us. So let me ask you, what is that one specific incident that you think is leading to a great impact and is leading to legacy, building your legacy?
Wow. If one particular incident, I don't think. But I think for anyone to build their legacy, their home team is important. Like for us, my wife, my in-laws supported me in the various journeys that I have been on. So if for anyone to accomplish like a super goal, one, you need to have your home team sorted out. Okay, and don't think that I have a very rosy home team when I'm speaking. We all go through challenges, and how you survive through those challenges is important, because I believe that God never gives you a challenge that you cannot overcome. Okay, so there's a home team, then there's a work team, and then of course there's a spiritual team, right? So there's always something what we call the vertical alignment. The vertical alignment, in my mind, it goes like this: you have the God, you have family, and then comes work. Okay, so you have the spiritual needs, whichever your spiritualities, you need to be linked to somebody, maybe your own self, the higher self. You need to be linked to that, because that's what's going to open up universe and going to be open up new opportunities and ideas for you. Then comes the family. So there's a prioritize between family and work. You need to be able to prioritize that, and then comes work. So the third, work in my mind would be the third, right? Though you would have seen me work a lot.
Yes.
But there's something from the book that I learned is it's a book called The One Thing. Okay, and he says how if there's a center of balance, you have a center of balance, right? Okay, and if that center of balance is there, and it's like a pendulum that swings between the center of balance. Okay. So your work pendulum can swing really far off from the center of balance. So sometimes at work we're working on a project, and then everything else, we have this deadline to complete, so every focus is on that. So sometimes you may not be able to answer all the emails that particular day, you may not be able to answer all those phone calls, because you have to get this thing completed. That means you're completely off balance, right, from the center, right? Whereas for the family, you need to try as much as possible to stay around that center of balance. Okay, so you don't want that pendulum to swing too far off that you're not able to bring it back to balance. Does it make sense in some sense? So we have various techniques to keep that center of balance, right? So that's what I learned along the various books that my mentors guided me to. So these are things that I learned and try to implement. Okay, small things, like it can be small things. How do you have work and family balance? There's no such thing as work-family balance. I learned from my mentor Ivan. He said there's work-family harmony. You can create harmony. But there's anybody who, especially now in India, I hear a lot of numbers about. It is not the number of hours you work, but how effective you can make that. That even if you work 3 hours is fine, but how are you really focused? Are you able to accomplish that? Because no point just sitting in front of a desk for 80, 90 hours, you're not able to accomplish it. So how can you be effective in that time frame? How can you create, like for another example I can give you is, between my family and my work, between my wife and the person who's running my travels, we had a common Google spreadsheet for my yearly calendar, and then my wife will go mark out all the dates that I need to be for a specific event or a family function, or maybe some Diwali or something coming about. So she'll mark those as blocked dates for travel, and then that opens up other dates. So there's always a communication. Though I may not be able to tell my wife every time I'm going here, I'm going there, but she will know. She can anytime open the calendar, and she'll be able to see where I'm heading out to, right? And she can, if there's any adjustments to be. So we need to figure out ways in how you can have that work-life harmony.
Let's say work-life harmony.
Yeah, harmony. Yeah.
That is my biggest takeaway for today. Work-life harmony. Never heard of that. So Mac, have you always been this magical, or have you learnt your magic on the way?
It's not the question of being magical. I think all of us are magical. All of us have got a gift. Okay, over the years, that gift blossoms at different stages, the journey is not over yet. There's so much more to accomplish. When I get inspired by so many other leaders who have accomplished a lot more. I'm blessed that I had an opportunity along the way to make significant impact on IT business, on a background verification business, on a staffing business, and each of these businesses have grown before I got into BNI. And BNI also had a fantastic opportunity with various leaders to be able to build it. When we work, the accomplishment is not by one person, it's all teamwork. I'm very grateful to all the people that helped accomplish that vision that we have and continue accomplishing the vision that we have even after I've crossed these different projects or companies that I've been associated with, right? It's actually all about teamwork.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So let me take you back to 40 years from now, right?
Okay.
Let's go back 40 years.
Go forward or go backward?
Go backward.
Okay.
Let's go back 40 years. And 40 years ago, did you even imagine you would be the Mac Srinivasan?
40 years ago, I don't think I was born, by the way. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Anyways, she's asking me something 40 years back. No, I don't think so. I think 40 years back, we were just a little kid, right? And playing with something like Lego blocks. But I always wanted to do something in engineering. I always build something and create like little homes and play around with little cars and stuff. So always, you find a passion, and the more you start working on your passion, like right when I was my last opportunities at BNI, it was not like work at all, because I'd already found that's my vision is to impact over 1 million entrepreneurs. So BNI became just one of the tools. There are other tools. I work with building blocks, the kids, and there we are impacting lives. That's helping. So it doesn't matter. So if anything that aligns with my overall purpose in life, that I want to impact 1 million humans before I get switched off, right? So that's the journey. We have building blocks, we have BNI that came in the way, IT companies that come in the way and go. So you just utilize those as pathways for you to accomplish your end goal. And many times you may not have this question, but many times I ask, okay, Mac, how do you find this purpose? All of us,
we're going to
ask these gurus. They'll say, if you work in your purpose in life, it's not like work, right? So I learned from another mentor. She taught me that you write down all your passions, and it may take you a few years, sometimes a few months, but from your passions you will find out your purpose. So for me, I started enjoying when I was able to make a small impact on somebody's life. In fact, there was a guy called Ravindra who used to work for me in the security desk at night in my IT company when I was building my IT company. And he used to speak decent English. And then a whole night he'll just be sitting in front of the desk. When I was building all the back office, there's data entry. So I told him, hey Ravindra, I'll educate, I'll send you to a class. Why don't you learn something about Excel and a few things, learn data entry. And when he finished that, I was able to give him jobs in data entry, and his salary went up by 3 to 4 times, correct? And then later, he actually jumped jobs from me with my blessing. He jumped to another company because now he's no longer a security guard, he's a data entry specialist, and he got another job with twice the pay.
Wow.
So that kind of was a trigger in my life. Wow, there is a purpose, that why the universe or God asked me to come back to India, because I was very much comfortable in the US in the past. Came back to India and said, okay, that's what I'm enjoying. How do I make a difference in somebody's life in some way, some small way? Then building block schools came along, we started impacting them, and the journey continues from there.
Tell me some secrets about leadership.
About leadership, wow. So I think there's a saying, right? If you think you're a leader and you're walking,
okay,
and you look behind you and nobody's following you, you're just taking a walk in the park.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If you think you're leading and you turn around and nobody's following you, you're just taking a walk in the park. So how do you leadership in my mind is all about inspiration. You cannot force somebody to follow you. You have to inspire. You have to draw them to you like a magnet. Okay. And in order to draw them to you like a magnet, you yourself have to work on yourself first. Okay, so there's a story that I normally share at my meetings, is about a dad reading a newspaper on a Saturday morning. Okay, it's his day off, Saturday and Sunday, before he gets his whole honey-do list from his wife, right? do this. So he's having his coffee in the morning, 20 minutes of peace in the newspaper, and they have a small son, two-year-old son, 2.5-year-old son, and then the son keeps saying, "Dad, come play with me. So the dad is reading the paper, and in order to keep his son busy, he takes that one photograph in that paper, because what he's seeing in the newspaper is like a world map, right? Okay. So he takes that particular page, he tears it in about 10-15 pieces, puts it down, and asks his son to solve like a jigsaw puzzle.
Right.
Now the son, and his dad goes back to reading the paper. The son comes back to him in maybe 5-6 minutes, much faster than his dad thought
He would come back. Oh, okay.
Because when the son was seeing the newspaper on the other side, it was the picture of a human being. So the son put the human together and the world falls into place. If we put ourselves as humans together, the world will fall into place.
Oh my God, this is magical. No wonder your charisma is magnetic. No wonder.
My early mentors gave me guidance to many books that came into my life. How to Win Friends and Influence People. There's something called the Personality Plus. There's 5 Love Languages. Several books that I started working on myself. Okay, and I'm a computer geek. I'm a robotics engineer. I've been computer programming, but soon, because of evolving me as a human, my opportunities started changing from just writing code to managing people to running the project to then later on running the practice and then managing. So my career growth rapidly went up the more I worked on myself. So the more you work on yourself, the world falls into place, just like that story. So I think as a leader, you have to work on yourself. There should not be even a day or a night that you go to sleep without at least listening to 5-10 minutes of something positive in your mind, or leadership skills, or people skills, or so things that will actually help you lead people. Leaders are readers. If you are not working on yourself, you cannot lead people. So I believe leadership all starts at home, starts with yourself. Don't be hard on your people. You be hard on yourself first, and automatically you start drawing people towards you instead of you trying to whip them to make the work done. Okay. A couple of other things I learned along my journey is, if I need to accomplish a goal, I need to inspire them. I need to keep talking to them about that vision. A leader should always share the vision, constantly share the vision with their folks, because otherwise the people will not get inspired to accomplish something of greatness. Okay, and that vision should be like, okay, how will life be once we accomplish that goal? If once we have 1 million entrepreneurs in BNI, the ecosystem that it creates, the opportunity. So a leader is a person who always shares the vision. So as a leader, whether it's in your home or business, you keep sharing the vision. By sharing the vision, what happens is those who align to you will continue, or they will step up. Hey, I like that vision. I'm going to walk with you in that journey. Those who don't align with you will step out, and that's perfectly fine. Because the more people that you are rowing in the same direction, you're able to accomplish that goal. So I've talked through many points in your particular question. So leadership starts with yourself first. Build yourself. As you build yourself, the world will fall into place.
Absolutely. So while you're building yourself, Mac, there's one thing that always leaders are expected to do, right? When you have a vision, you need to be resilient about the vision, because entrepreneurship is all about resilience. So my question to you is, how do you build that resilience to other people and also to yourself? How do you remain resilient? How do you remain so focused in your goal?
If you want to go from point A to point B, you can go in the straight line.
Right.
Or in normal business or life never takes you from point A to point B in a straight line. Never. You will have ups and downs to get to point B, right? So along that journey, on you to accomplish that vision, when I say point B is the vision. You keep speaking the vision, and you might have to change the path. You may have to change the people. You may have to change things. But if you have this huge purpose, okay, that you want to accomplish, no matter what drama happens in your life, you will step back up again and work, because your purpose is something bigger, is really big. Okay, my vision is to impact 1 million entrepreneurs or 1 million humans before I get switched off. So it doesn't matter what happens along the journey. We are focused over there. Can I impact somebody else's life today, and can I, by the time when I go back to sleep tonight, can I say in my mind, okay, did I impact somebody's life? Who are the 1 or 2 people I impacted? Positive. It doesn't have to be just money. It can be one positive quote, or say, hey, look, you did a good job. Things like that. Everything doesn't have to be related to money. Okay, so set the vision, and the path will change. And the more you focus on that vision, the manifestation will happen. The universe will put people, opportunities in place for you to accomplish that.
So, looking at what you were saying, so listening to what you were saying, you're saying that the universe will put things in place if you have a vision, if you want to get there. But let me ask you, if there are 2 people talking, and say, for example, I have a vision, okay, and if I don't tell you the vision, maybe you are the path for my destination. I don't know, maybe you are a companion for my destination, but if I don't tell you, how will the universe help me get there?
So what is my vision? What is my mission in life? What did I just now share with you?
Your mission is to impact 1 million lives.
So how do you know about that?
Because you told me about it.
Correct. So as a leader, you need to keep speaking it.
Okay.
A leader always have to speak it. There's also in many of our books, or universal books, or universe and different religions, what your tongue speaks, you manifest. So in Hinduism, they say tadastu. Whether you say good or bad, that's what's going to get blessed.
Ashwini Devate.
Yeah.
We have that.
You have that as well?
Yes.
So in the Bible, they say the power of your tongue. There's a lot, I don't know the exact quote of it, but I remember going to Jesuit schools where I studied, where we learned the power of the tongue. So it's very important what we speak, and for a leader, you need to speak your vision. You need to inspire people, because they are all depending on you. Their futures are depending on your on where you're taking the company, or what is it they're accomplishing. I'll give you another maybe story that really inspires me. There's something called the James Webb Telescope. Have you heard of that?
No.
Okay.
What is that?
I want you to go and Google it. James Webb Telescope. A few years ago, I think it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago, we launched it from the Earth. It's actually it took 20 plus years to design. So somebody who, imagine 25 years ago, they have started the journey of putting this telescope in something. There are like 2 points on Earth. Again, I'm going a little bit scientific, but this particular telescope is going to be positioned in such a place where it is looking at the galaxies outward. So it has to go to Lagrange point number 2. There are 2 points on Earth. So you have the Earth in the center, and there are 2 points. One is between the Earth and Sun, so there's a lot of light coming, where most of our Hubble telescope and things are. This is about 1 million miles away, where James Webb Telescope has to be positioned, and it's got its wings that are like a tennis court, huge tennis court that has to be deployed. It's a very complex project, very complex project, and how they would take it there, unfurl its wings, because the wings are going to prevent the sun from hitting it, shields, and it's pointing, the telescope itself is pointing to the galaxy outside. And why is that telescope so important is the light that it receives is on the infrared range. And it's going to be seeing light that's coming from 1 billion years away. So the light that's hitting it is actually started its journey towards Earth 1 billion years away. So even it's going to change the way that we think how Big Bang worked. So it's a very complex project. Even the launch project has got about more than 400 points of failure.
God.
From when they launched it, where it should deploy, because on one side you'll have like minus 200, minus 300 degrees. On the other side, it has to be functional. So amazing. Why am I going that depth in that telescope? Is somebody had the vision and had to convey that, bring in the funding. So many billions of dollars need to be, and across so many people. Some of them who started the journey may not be living anymore.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if you take that, these are the big projects that really inspire me. The Hoover Dam in the US.
In the US, absolutely.
Okay? And these huge mega projects. You take even our own, like the Taj Mahal, 22 years or more to build, with so many people doing. So somebody has got a big vision. They have to keep speaking it. They will go through struggles. Okay. And then the accomplishment. Whenever we see now, these rockets going and them coming back and getting, they have these mechanisms to even get the boosters back. These are things like, unless you're able to express that vision, you're not going to be able to motivate that team, to inspire the team to do something beyond what is humanly possible. Every great accomplishment started, whether it was Mahatma Gandhi who said, look, we can get independence for India, right? And so giving that picture of how it's going to be beyond, that's the job of a leader. A job of a leader in my mind is they need to paint the vision, they need to stick to the course, they know that's going to be difficult, they need to stick to the course, and then they keep on building the team and inspiring them to accomplish that particular vision.
Wow. Okay. So what in your thought process, do you think a leader is born or is a leader made?
Well, it's a good question. Actually, one of my mentors, John Maxwell,
okay,
he's a leader of leaders. I mean, he's the expert on leadership. And he says, you can be born with some traits, but it's mostly you come in and you can learn leadership. It's not complicated. It's not.
But how do I even know whether I have the leadership skills or no?
We started with the question earlier. Okay. You remember this? I said, if you work on yourself, the world will follow you. So leadership, it all starts with you. Yes, you do have some traits when you're born with. Okay, your looks, maybe the way the environment that can shape your leadership. But I have seen leaders who come even who have come from environments that have not supported them, but they have stepped up and been leaders. How? However, because they worked on themselves, they learned, they've been inspired by other leaders. And I think if you're a leader, you need to have a mentor. Mentors are the one that will mold you. We have all come to take a particular journey on earth, and they will kind of guide you. And you need to work on yourself, and in order for you to be able to inspire others.
That is brilliant. So amidst all of this happening around you, there is chaos. There is so much happening everywhere. How do you maintain your inner solace?
It's a good question, because as a leader, we will also go through a lot of downtimes. Everything is not always rosy.
Absolutely.
In fact, if it is rosy, then one of my friends told me the only time when you are fully at peace of mind is when you're 6 feet under the ground.
When there are roses all over you.
Yeah. So if you think the life is all rosy, no. Every leader, everybody in their personal life is going through ups and downs. In their business, they're going through ups and downs. So we set the vision, and there will always be drama, whether it's in the house or whether at work. Whenever there's drama, whether it's in a BNI meeting or anything, we always go back. What is our main purpose? Why are we doing this? We try to guide them back to the vision and try to go back on the path. Focus back on the vision. Because otherwise, that's why they say, many of our mentors say, put pictures of to manifest, the visual cues of what type of house you want, what type of yacht you want, what type of... I still remember when I had no money in the early days as a computer engineer, I had learned from some of our mentors to put these vision boards.
Right.
Okay. And I had visions of, yacht and private jets and nice homes and all that. So today, if I look back at it, the place where I'm staying is surrounded in a similar environment, where I have on one side I have $1 million yachts, other side is the ocean. Okay, so it'll come, it'll manifest. I remember first when you take your pen and write it down, like when you talk about goals, there's something magical when you physically write down with your hand, not computer writing.
Right.
You write it down and you fold it and keep it in your wallet or wherever, right? So I remember when in our first home, when we were ready to buy, we were written down, we want a house, a 3-bedroom house, okay? And we wanted to be in a cul-de-sac or place where our friends can park their cars, because at that time we were in a different network marketing business where people used to come on the weekends to our house. And so we wrote it down. We wrote down specifics like, okay, the kitchen should have a window overlooking a garden. And so we wrote it down, and then soon enough we saw a house listed that we went and saw, and I immediately loved that location because it was on a pond, but it was an as-is house. That means it was actually in a broken down condition.
Okay.
But I have never bought homes. It's my first house. Okay, I knew that I had a line of credit from the bank, and I took the guts to put my money down on that house to buy it. And my wife was like crazy. She said, "It's our first house. Why didn't we go for a ready-made, already working house?" But the location was very beautiful for what we wanted. Again, we go on faith. If you step out on faith, the universe will give you I found people to fix that house. And that's the house where our 2 kids were born as well. It was a wonderful house, small house, but it was on something called the Moon Lake. So when in winters, when the snow completely freezes the pond, and there will be like the moon reflecting
on the snowflakes.
On the snow and coming into your living room. Oh, it was lovely.
Oh,
okay, but the
wow.
struggles of getting that house and being able to fix it, and then being able to enjoy it for several years. Or even when I moved back to India, we rented a house. We loved that house. We asked the owner to sell it to me, and he said, no, he's going to move back and use it. So we were really desiring that, and we had put down, hey, we want this 1-bedroom downstairs, 3-bedroom upstairs, everything, right? And then in those days when I had moved back to India, we used to buy Times of India. And for some particular reason, my wife bought Deccan Herald or some other newspaper that particular week, when she was out grocery. She circled one ad, 4-bedroom. I still remember driving to that house 9:30 or 10 at night and looking. It was the same blueprint of the house we stayed.
Oh my God.
Even now when I think of it, so whatever was listed on the ad the next day morning, I paid more than what they listed.
Oh my God.
My bid on was about 2 to 3 lakhs more than what they listed, because I said once I found the location, I don't want anybody else to bid on it, right? And it took us again a struggle, because the owners were abroad. It took us a struggle to get that, but again, it's manifestation. It's about having the desire, doing the work, okay, and being able to go and accomplish that. Today we live in that house now. It is like served us for more than 20 years, and it's a wonderful. It was in a much better location than where we were, right? So that these are things that I think when you write down your goal, you go with the true intent. The universe somehow as always will put that people or bring it into your life if it's the right alignment.
Lovely. So for everyone around, Mac and Meena always come together. Tell us a little more about Meena.
Oh, Meena has been, I've been with the journey. However long Meena has lived, I've known her. Her family and our family were friends.
Okay.
Family friends from we know, both the families knew each other. And I think if I'm remembering right, I might have even gone to the hospital when she was born, because they were living in Coimbatore. We were living in Bangalore.
Oh my
mom
God.
took me. So
that's like knowing someone all your life.
We knew each other. But like I mentioned earlier, it is the family team that comes first. We've been through struggles, financially and things, but she comes from a very well-off family, and at that time I didn't have any money building up. But she had the faith, okay, that she, that we could build our life together, and that's how we did. And there have been times, tremendous support, and every one of my down times, she's been there to support me. And I've also encouraged her to build her businesses, and so it is teamwork. So one of my friends say the property and your life partner you cannot choose. It's already written, right? Destiny. And sometimes, it's not like you. So for some of us, we go through the same life partner the whole life. For some people, they have to change. Whatever their situation is such these days, they may have to change 1 or 2 life partners. But in my mind, it is like finding the person that you're able to You don't have to like have how shall I say, your alignments should be there. Your strengths, like I have some strengths and Meena's got some strengths. My weaknesses are her strengths in the areas of thing. And then we worked through these various books. The 5 Love Languages, a wonderful book we learned. We learned from Personality Plus, and so things on what motivates us and what does not motivate us, right? Can I share something from the 5 Love Languages? They're
Absolutely.
quite simple. So the 5 Love Languages, basically, once we read it, we started laughing because one of the thing, all of us, I think you have to look at it like each of us has got like a tank, like a fuel tank.
Okay.
Some vehicles you need petrol, and some vehicles you need diesel. Some vehicles you need electricity to charge them. Okay, so each of us have got a different language of love. Okay, that will inspire or motivate us. So one of the languages is, which we mostly say, is words of appreciation. Hey, I love you. Right? You see most people say I love you, and so for some people it's gifts. When you give them gifts, they feel that their love tank is increased. For some people it is acts of service. You go and do something for them, they think, oh wow, that person really loves me. For some people it is touch, just tapping them, holding their hand, being with them. It's that's what inspires or lifts up their love tank. And the fifth one is quality time, being able to spend time with. So these things we did not know before. So in the US, we were what we call dinks, double income, no kids.
No kids.
Yeah. So when she was working and coming back from work, whatever dishes were in the house, I would like do it and keep it ready for her, and before she pulls in the driveway. And I thought that's how I am expressing love, because for me, acts of service was my love language. For her, she's come, hey Mac, I love you, this, that, it'll all go above my head. Oh, what about love? It's not like, it's not something that like was filling my tank. Till we did this and say, oh wow, for her it's words of appreciation. I need to be appreciating her more. I still don't do the best job at it, but hey, you did a good job, Meena, or I love you, Meena, or something like that, though it doesn't come natural, we need to, because that's what fills the love tank. And for her, was making sure my other things were taken care of, my laundry or stuff. So there's another story behind it, right? There were times when we were newly married, and from the laundry part, sometimes she wouldn't do the laundry, but she'll put perfume on the socks and fold it. I didn't know this, but then now it's all fun. But learning from these books helped us a lot. For me, my daughters, I know, like my youngest daughter is quality time. So whenever I travel so much, I come back, even now, I spend time with her.
And you play puzzles.
15 minutes, 20 minutes, spend time with her, because that's what she likes. For my other daughter, she'll never call me. But the moment she calls, it is she's like me, acts of service. Something is broken, I immediately drop everything and get it done for her. Because if I get that done, she knows, hey, dad loves her. These are things that I'm telling you, apply to not only your significant other, but also your kids. Even for my people who work for me, some of them, may just, if you know that they're a words of appreciation person, small note for them, or a tap on the back. Nowadays, you be very careful before you tap somebody, because you have these other issues. But just make sure that that they understand, appreciation, quality time. All these, it helps you. These books teach you actually a lot of things.
So how do you identify that? With your partner, of course, you spend a lot of time. With your children, you spend a lot of time. But with your co-workers, or you don't spend as much time?
That's a good question. So most people will speak in their love language. Okay.
Oh,
so
interesting.
So if somebody is giving you gifts a lot, their love language is gifting. If somebody is appreciating you, so you can normally get cues from how they are expressing themselves. Like how I was telling you, I was going and doing all the dishes and getting. So for me, you'll see people who are like themselves are doing a lot of service for you. Because their love language is service. Okay, so these are cues you will get from their method of speaking to you.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is more than this is gone beyond leadership, beyond all of this. I think these are life lessons that we
absolutely.
so look forward to learn.
So let me ask you a question. Which is your love language?
I I don't know. I haven't thought about it that
Most
seriously.
women that I have asked, they will say all the 5 Mac. We need everything. We need gifts. We need words of affirmation. They always say they need all the 5. But there's always 1 or 2 that's more peak, than the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Maybe I'll discover that with my partner.
Yeah.
Both life and business.
Yeah.
All right. So outside of your work, what is the other one thing besides playing puzzles with your daughter?
Mm-hmm.
Which is the other one thing that keeps you grounded and keeps you at it? I will do this. And what is that one thing that pushes you and motivates you from within?
You mean when I'm not doing work, right? When I'm just relaxed and chilled out. When I'm relaxed and chilled out, I don't have a particular a goal or. I do love movies. I like going out. I love listening to music.
Okay.
So these are things that will inspire. Sometimes you ask me. Your previous question was when you're down, what pulls you up? I think we have to identify 1 or 2 things that we can zone ourselves into. Like for me, when I go and listen to instrumental music, or it doesn't matter any language. I listen to their music, and sometimes music is the other way to connect to the universe. You would notice that music is a universal language that will connect you beyond this realm. Okay, so music will pull you out, or you'll have 1 or 2 friends that you can always call, even at 2 a.m. in the night, and talk to them.
The
right?
4 a.m., 2 a.m.
Yeah,
friends.
4 a.m., 2 a.m. friends. You don't need many, just 1 or 2.
Correct.
Okay. So if you ask me what inspires me, like when I'm on my downtime or thing, I love watching movies. I like a lot of documentaries.
That's amazing. I have so many more questions in my mind, but I guess it will be a long conversation with you, and maybe off the record.
Maybe
lot
we'll
of
do
things.
more podcasts in the future.
Definitely. So looking forward to it. And thank you so much for being on the show with us. From Grind to Gold, we show deepest gratitude to you.
Thank you.
And please forgive us if we have gone wrong somewhere, if we have asked you overstepping questions.
No, not at all. Nothing, not at all.
Thank you so much for being on the show today, and looking forward to more and more podcasts with you.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you so
Great being
much.
here. Thanks.